Model T parade. And then this whole complex inside this white fence here is Menlo Park. And this is the workshop and complex of Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, inventor of the phonograph, inventor of all sorts of shit. And then also, if you ask Nikola Tesla, stealer of other people's inventions, Henry Ford bought all these buildings and had them taken apart and transported from Menlo Park, New Jersey to here in Dearborn, Michigan. We just learned on the tour that Thomas Edison at one point had said that Menlo Park would never leave the soil of Menlo Park, New Jersey. So when when Ford bought these buildings, he also had 37 loads of dirt brought to put under these buildings so that they are sitting on Menlo Park soil. This building here is a glass house. Apparently Thomas Edison had a glass making area section. Yep, this is a lot of glass in here. So, but all the buildings inside this white picket fence, that one, this one behind me, that one there, that little one, and that brick building over there are all part of Thomas Edison's complex from Menlo Park, New Jersey. Inside these buildings is where the light bulb was invented and where the phonograph was invented. That, you can see it just over there, that yellow house there is a boarding house that stood in about the same location in Menlo Park relative to Edison's complex. People who worked for Edison would come there and stay if they were in town for something. And it is also the first house in the United States that was wired for electricity. It was a boarding house that was right by Menlo Park when Edison was working there. And that was the first residence in the United States that was wired for electricity. But this building here is his big workshop. This is where he did most of his work. So we'll go in there. When Henry Ford bought this building and had it moved here and put back together, he had Edison over for like the grand opening of it, and Edison was sitting in a chair, and it's inside the chair is actually in here, and Henry Ford had the chair nailed to the floor so that nobody could move it where Edison sat. But he asked Edison, so Tom, did we get it right? And Edison was was famous at that point for being a cantankerous, grumpy old man. He looked around the room and he grunted and he said, "It's cleaner than it was when I had it." So apparently, is this the building? No, this is not the building. This doesn't have the upstairs. But apparently, this was not, when Thomas Edison had it, by Thomas Edison's own admission, it was not this clean. When Thomas Edison had it, apparently Thomas Edison was a messy worker. But this is, it's wired for electricity. Geez, it looks like the original wiring, too. Disconnected inside that building. I guess this is a Faraday cage Thomas Edison created. It doesn't do cell phone signal. This is the building with the upstairs. This is the actual workshop where he did most of his work. I don't know what this little building is right here. Let's see what this building is. Woodworking shop. So it looks like Edison's complex here was a one-stop shop for just about everything. This is the laboratory. Was the heart of this is the laboratory. Most famous experiments were on the second floor of the lab. He kept a wide variety of chemicals and other materials on hand just in case they were needed. Let's see here. So there's all his chemicals, and I think this is what he was talking about when he said it's cleaner than when I had it. He had all his chemicals and various parts and things on the ground when he was making his various inventions. Oh, this is a dark room of some kind. various parts and chemicals and things on the shelves along the walls. This area up here is where I was talking about the chair. So this is where they had the opening day. Opening day when they opened this up, and they had Edison here, and Edison was in that chair right there. He sat in that chair, and that's when Henry Ford said, "Hey, did we get it right, Tom?" And Edison said, "Well, it's cleaner than when I had it." But you can see all the chemicals and different things on the wall up here where he did all of his things in that chair right there. When Edison was sitting there, when the grand opening was over, Henry Ford said to his workers, he said, "Okay, boys, let's make sure this chair never moves." So they nailed the chair to the floor. They nailed the chair to the floor so that it would never move. So that chair is still sitting in the exact spot. It's a chair that Thomas Edison sat in the exact spot that Thomas Edison sat in it in for the opening day of this lab.